Have you ever really stopped and thought about what getting old means? The senses maybe aren't as sharp, the body feels weaker, and there's that quiet worry sometimes about things getting confusing as time goes on.
Yeah, it's something everyone faces, isn't it? This whole thing with impermanence, weakness, and looking for something deeper.
Absolutely. And people have been searching for that deeper wisdom, a way through it all for, well, forever.
And that's exactly what we're doing today. Our mission in this deep dive is to pull out the most powerful ideas from some really incredible ancient writings.
Right.
We're looking at this really deep conversation about freedom from suffering, trying to see how these old teachings maybe offer a kind of shortcut.
A shortcut to understanding the path beyond old age and death.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And how it relates directly to you listening now.
Okay, so where are we getting this from? What's the source?
We're digging into parts of the Piṅgiyamāṇavapucchā,
Which means?
the questions of Piṅgiya. It's not just some dry text. It's part of a larger ancient scripture. And it captures this really direct, urgent conversation with a wise teacher.
Okay, great. So let's unpack this story. Where does it start?
It starts with Piṅgiya. He's an elder, and he comes to the teacher with this really personal, really urgent request.
Okay.
And he describes himself so clearly. Old, weak, faded in color with unclear eyes and troubled hearing. You can almost feel his anxiety.
Yeah, that feeling of perishing and becoming confused, as he puts it.
Exactly. It's heavy stuff.
And his question, it's not just academic curiosity, is it? He's asking for Dhamma.
Right. Not just teachings, but like a fundamental truth or path.
A path to do what?
To abandon birth and old age. He's asking for the big one, liberation from the whole cycle, basically. All driven by his own aging.
Wow. Okay, so how does the teacher respond to that?
Well, the teacher's first response is super insightful. He looks around, sees how people are afflicted by forms. The text says rupesu vihanyamani, and how they're deluded by forms.
Afflicted by forms. What does that mean exactly? Like physical things?
It's deeper than just physical objects, I think. It's more about our mental attachments, how we get caught up in appearances and how we think things should be. These fixed ideas, these mental forms.
Ah, okay. So the advice is?
Direct. He tells Piṅgiya, abandon forms for non-rebirth. Let go of those attachments to appearances and expectations.
So letting go of how things seem or how we want them to seem. That's the starting point for freedom.
That's the first key insight, yeah. True freedom starts when we release those internal forms that trap us.
That's pretty direct for such a huge question. How does Piṅgiya take that? Does he get it?
Oh, he gets it. Straight away, he praises the teacher, says there's nothing in all the 10 directions.
Meaning everywhere.
Everywhere, exactly. Nothing the teacher hasn't seen, heard, or understood. He recognizes the wisdom, but then he repeats his plea.
Still focused on escaping birth and old age.
Yes, he really wants that specific teaching.
So what's the teacher's next step? Seeing Piṅgiya understands the first part.
The teacher then points out how people are overwhelmed by craving, the word is tanapyam, and how they're tormented by old age because of it.
Craving, okay, that feels familiar.
Right, so the advice is similar. Piṅgiya should also abandon craving for non-rebirth.
So first, abandon attachment to forms, how things appear. And second, abandon craving, the wanting, the desire that never seems satisfied.
Exactly. If forms is about appearance, craving is about that root desire, the engine that keeps us chasing things and feeling unfulfilled. It's like the second pillar.
And you can really see how that speaks to us even now, can't you? These core anxieties getting attached to how things look or should be and always wanting more.
Absolutely. These aren't just abstract ideas. They're presented as real answers to our deepest fears about life and change, a practical path.
So this conversation wasn't just between Piṅgiya and the teacher.
No, there's a bit more context. The teacher was in Magadha at a place called the Pasataka Sitya, like a shrine, and he was actually approached by 16 Brahmin attendants who also had questions.
16. Okay, so it was a significant gathering. These were learned people.
Yes, learned individuals for that time, also searching for these deep truths. It shows how universal the questions were.
And this whole teaching, it has a name, you said.
Yes, Pārāyana.
Which means?
Going to the other shore, or crossing over.
Like crossing from suffering to liberation.
Precisely. The name itself signals this huge shift, this journey.
And is it presented as difficult, this crossing?
What's amazing is how the text puts it. It says that just by understanding the meaning of even one of these questions...
Just one.
Yes, and then actually practicing according to that understanding, that's enough. You can pass beyond old age and death.
Wow. So it's not about mastering some huge, complex system necessarily, but really grasping and living even one core truth.
That's the implication. It's presented as a very direct, actionable path. A single deep insight lived can change everything.
In this group, the 16 Brahmins plus Piṅgiya,
Yeah.
they were quite the lineup, weren't they?
Oh, yeah, the texts list them. Ashita, Tisamateya, Puchaka, Metogu, Dotaka, Upasiva, Nanda, Hemaka,
Quite a few prominent names.
Tadeya, Kappa, Jatukant, Padravuda, Udaya, Posala, Mogaraja, and Pudiya himself. They sought out the finest among Buddhas, the text says, with subtle questions.
It really highlights how widespread this search for profound answers was, even among the scholars of the day.
Definitely. And the outcome. The teacher answered them truthfully, satisfied their questions, and they ended up living this holy life near him.
Ah, so they were convinced.
Seems so. And the text repeats that idea. Whoever practices this path crosses from this shore to the other shore, leaving suffering, reaching freedom.
So what about Piṅgiya specifically? How does this whole exchange change him?
His transformation comes through really powerfully in his own words. He says he'll sing along with the Pārāyana like he fully embraces it.
A testament to its truth for him.
Exactly. And he just praises the teacher endlessly. Stainless, immensely wise, desireless, thornless. He calls him the dispeller of darkness, the all-seeing one, gone beyond the world, free from defilements, someone who's ended all suffering.
He really lays it on thick, but in a good way.
Yeah, you feel his conviction. And he uses these great analogies.
Like what?
He says he's like a bird leaving a tiny cramped cage, a little birdhouse, to fly into a huge forest full of fruit.
Moving from limitation to abundance.
Right. Or like a swan leaving some small pond, the ignorant ones, and heading for the great ocean.
Again, that sense of moving towards vastness, freedom, understanding.
It really paints a picture of his internal shift.
And he contrasts this teaching, this Dhamma, with others he knew.
Yes, he dismisses previous teachings as just hearsay, or things that just led to more arguments.
Intellectual debates rather than transformation.
Kind of, yeah. But this Dhamma from Gautama, the teacher, he says, is different. It's immediately visible, sindhyekikam.
Immediately visible. What does that mean here? You see the results right away.
That's the idea. It's not about blind faith in something far off. You can see the truth and the effects for yourself in your own experience as you practice. Verifiable results, you know?
Okay, that's a big claim. What else?
He says it's timeless, akalika. Leads to the end of craving, takalam.
Yeah.
It's free from affliction, anitkar. And it's just utterly incomparable.
Timeless, ends craving, no suffering. Sounds pretty good.
It does. And then there's this fascinating bit where someone asks him, do you ever, leave the teacher? Are you ever separate from him?
Given his age and weakness, you'd think physically yes.
Right, but his answer is profound. He says, no, never. Not even for a moment.
How can that be?
He says, I see him mentally and with my eyes day and night. He spends the night metaphorically or perhaps literally bowing. His faith, joy, mind, and mindfulness are constantly connected to the teaching.
So it's an interconnection that goes beyond physical presence.
Exactly. The real connection is mental, spiritual. It transcends space.
That's really powerful, especially when he acknowledges his physical limits.
Yeah, he admits his old and weak body can't always physically follow. But he says, my mind is yoked to him, always intending to be there mentally.
Wow. That speaks volumes about devotion and the power of the mind in this context.
It really does. And he describes his before state so vividly, too.
How so?
He says he was lying in the mud, floundering, just moving from island to island, lost.
State of confusion, struggle.
Totally. But then, he says, I saw the perfectly awakened one who had crossed the flood and was free from defilements.
The flood of suffering, presumably.
Right. It's this clear before and after picture. From being stuck in the mud to seeing someone who's already crossed over to safety.
And the teacher acknowledges Piṅgiya's faith.
Yes, very directly. The teacher reassures him. He mentions others, Vakali, Padravuda, Avagutama, who were freed through faith.
Okay.
And he tells Piṅgiya, basically, do the same, release your faith, let it carry you, and promises him you will cross to the other shore of the realm of death.
A direct affirmation based on his faith.
Exactly. And Piṅgiya, he's even more satisfied after hearing this.
Understandably.
He praises the teacher again, perfectly awakened one, the cover removed, faultless, ready in mind. He says the teacher knows everything, high and low. He's the one who ends questions for people wrestling with doubt.
He sounds completely certain now.
Utterly. He declares the teacher is unshaken, unmoving, incomparable. And about himself, he says, I will certainly go. There is no doubt for me here.
No doubt left at all.
None. He even asks to be seen as someone with a resolute mind. It's such a strong ending to his journey from fear and weakness to absolute certainty.
What an incredible arc, from that initial plea born of fear to this final declaration of confidence.
It really is. And this ancient conversation, it just lays out such a clear, potent path. It boils down liberation to these core principles, letting go of forms, letting go of craving, all sparked by one person's very real, very human struggle with aging and death.
So this deep dive really uncovers this ancient way to deal with, well, fundamental human suffering.
Yeah.
And it leaves us with a thought, doesn't it? If abandoning attachment to forms, these fixed ideas, these appearances, and abandoning craving, this endless wanting, if that's the shortcut to wisdom that lasts, well, maybe it's worth asking ourselves, what forms or cravings in your own life might be kind of subtly holding you back?
Holding you back from what?
From crossing over to that other shore, yourself, that place of, deeper understanding and maybe a bit more peace.